Hey, what's up, everybody? Uncle Matt here, getting ready to head down to Nissan Stadium for the crucial AFC South showdown between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not feeling great about the Titans, but hey, let's start this out on a positive note. I finally got my new Titans bomber jacket, the 22nd Element exclusive. There's a patch on the sleeve. This is one of the benefits you get as being a member of the season ticket group, the 22nd Element. A lot of people got theirs last year. We're a year behind on the point system because me and my dad, we opted out of our tickets during the COVID system, and we just went with my uncle's tickets that whole year. The COVID season. So we didn't get any credit for going to the games that season, even though we went to all the games. So we're a year behind on the 22nd Element point system. So just finally got our bomber jacket. Borderline if it's going to be cold enough to wear it today, but I misdressed at the last game, so I'm going to try to get this one right. Cool new jacket. Starting off the day on a good foot. So last night I did a live stream here on the channel where I kind of gave my thoughts on the game, more thoughts on the John Robinson firing situation, so I won't, dwell on any of that or go too much into that in this vlog, but if you want, you can always subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on for notifications so that you always get updated when I do go live. That way you don't miss my deep dives and expert analysis on all things Tennessee Titans, all things World Cup soccer going on right now, Nashville SC. Those live streams are the cutting edge, analytics driven, hard hitting facts. Not really, it's just me sitting at my desk rambling about the teams that I like. So if that's something you're interested in, don't miss future live streams, because that's where I'll go over more what I think is going to happen. But basically the gist of it is, to me, as much as we feel like we're in control of the AFC South, as much as we feel like we've got it locked up and we're basically one win away from officially clinching it and having our playoff spot secured, this game today, a loss here today, can really kind of open Pandora's box, because it can really kick off what's already kind of happened with the Titans spiraling a little bit. If they lose to the Jaguars at home for the first time in 2013, this whole thing could come unglued for the Titans and a spiral could begin. I don't know that the Colts have enough juice to catch us. They're technically still, I think, second. I think the Jaguars really are the threat, even though they're basically one loss away from being eliminated. If they get this win today, if they get a little energy, a little kick in their pants, a little motivation from beating the Titans at home for the first time since 2013, that could be the spark they need to go on a run this last little stretch of the season and overtake us for the playoffs. It's not a good feeling around the Titans right now. That's all I'll say about that. And we got to get this win today. I mean, it's the Jags. But that's really the only thing people are saying about why they think the Titans are going to win this game. Is just like, well, it's the Jags. Of course they're going to win. But who's going to score points? We've got no wide receivers. Our entire defense is hurt, so who's going to stop their offense? This has got bad news written all over it today. Rarely see our parking lot over here at PSC Metals this empty, but I'm here a little bit early today because we're going to do some tailgating with some friends before the game. Not something I do every game, but something I would like to do more. Let's head over. Got Buck Rising and Co. giving the pre-game thoughts over here. They just made a joke about Buck Rising knowing more about groins than anybody else. Good stuff. It's been a while since I've been on this side of the stadium pre-game, and they've got this area, the sidewalk corner of the stadium, fenced off, and they've got buses here. Are these the Jaguars team buses? Have they changed where the visiting team enters? Because I think this used to be like the media entrance here, but it looks like it's more closed off and secure, and these buses certainly seem like they would be visiting team buses. Interesting. The Blue Crew drumline out here entertaining the tailgate crowds. I messed up every word in that sentence. that is a perfectly good tailgate burger right there. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bone apple teas. Losing it. Oh yeah, that's good. Interesting, today they didn't introduce the offense or the defense. They came out as a team. That's different. Huh. Change. Oh my God, it's Jonathan Davis. Good Lord. He's here. I don't know who this is. I heard a flyover. I didn't see a flyover. I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. Ever since the one game where the flyover basically went through the stadium, they were just terrified of having it anywhere near the stadium. So high today that nobody could even see it. First play of the game, we're going a big set with 61 in as an eligible receiver. I don't see what this offense can do today. Love them to prove me wrong. Ready for out of the gates? He's got him! He's got him! Oh, he waited too long! Oh! He had him. If he throws that earlier, he had it. Titans offensive savior, Racy McMath, is in for his first snap of the season. And it's a run play to Derrick Henry. Burger of the game is Cletus. I've never heard of this, but it smells delicious. Too bad I already ate 2 cheeseburgers at the tailgate today. I have to look this up and see what their deal is, because I've never heard of them, but it smells great. All right, it's been a minute since we popped into the pro shop. Let's see if there's anything new or interesting in here. Got kind of Oilers version of the bomber jacket we're wearing today. All right, so nothing particularly new or notable in the pro shop. Those Oilers Titans Vineyard Vine polos continue to be the main thing that piques my interest in there, but I just can't justify spending over $100 on a polo someday. Got the band on their way through, going down for the halftime performance. Titans got a third down late in the second quarter. Get a stop, keep the lead, and going into halftime. Oh, catch by the Jaguars. There goes T-Rack. Man, this game sucks. This game sucks. 33-14 Jaguars. As predicted. We can't score more than 20 points, so I mean there's no way we come back in this game, but I said all along we're gonna lose this game. Pathetic. Well, that sucked. What was the final score? 36-22 Jaguars. As I predicted, I said we were going to have a hard time winning that game because we just could not score points. Realistically, it was 22 is a favor to us because the last touchdown and 2-point conversion were kind of in garbage time when we were just chasing the game. The Jaguars were just kind of like, basically just sitting back, letting us do what we wanted to do. I didn't expect us to be so bad in terms of turning the ball over. 3 fumbles, an interception, just it's been the one thing we seem to have course corrected throughout the season for the most part, was just protecting the ball better, but not today. And the first Tannehill fumble, you can't blame him. I mean, just Daly, shock of all shocks. Dennis Daly lets guy run around the outside, blast Tannehill, and he fumbles. The Derrick Henry fumble, like he's got to protect the ball better there, but it was just such a weird bang play where it came out of his hands and popped right in Miles Jack's hands, right on the sideline. Interception. The guy behind me who hosts the podcast throughout every single game was talking about like that the tight end ran the wrong route, but Tannehill still threw it into a spot where there was 3 Jaguars defenders just standing there. So even if the tight end ran the wrong route, if he'd run the right route, there were still 3 Jaguars defenders standing there right in the area. So it's not an area you should throw the ball to begin with. The last fumble I didn't even see. I think I was out in the concourse when the last fumble happened. So it's just just shooting ourselves in the foot when we already can't afford to shoot ourselves in the foot because we're just like too piss poor to have that happen. The first quarter looked like there was a response, there was a bounce back. Derrick Henry was on fire in the first half, 96 yards in the first half, but then once we just let them run away with it, we took the running game out of it, and he ends up with only like 120 yards. When you get behind and you've got no receivers, you've got no way to stretch the field, no way to keep moving the ball, you can't do anything. And there was a lot of weird stuff that came out this week from media members, and I don't know where it's come from. It's been happening all season of like the local media, like almost like because they don't want to like agree with the fan base or something like that. I don't know if that's it, but just like defending Todd Downing. There's a lot of people that came out this week and said like, oh, this is why Vrabel never would go against Todd Downing because he knew he didn't have the weapons to do it. Now, granted, the personnel didn't change this week. The personnel was the same, but look at the plays Todd Downing calls. Look at the plays he designs. Look at how ineffective we are at being able to create situations that get our receivers open. Like, is the Jaguars personnel, look across the ball. Were they some great team? Or do they have a better offensive scheme to just like move the ball, to get the ball into people's hands, to get the ball open? Is Evan Ingram some superstar, like all-time great tight end that he torched us for like 1,000 yards today? No. They drew up a game plan to get the ball into his hands, to get him open, to take advantage of a weakness in our defense, and we don't do that. Todd Downing has no ability to attack the weaknesses of their team, to emphasize the strengths of our team. Our receivers are never open. When they catch the ball, there's already somebody draped all over them, and that's schematic. Your receivers have to do a little bit on their own to get open. But there's also, how many teams in the NFL these days have schemes that get receivers open, and our receivers are never open. They're always, even when they catch a pass, they've got somebody draped over their back, ready to bring them down because there's nothing designed to help them get open, to help them find space. The offensive line is trash, and we're still doing 5-step drops, multi-layered routes. Look at what the Bengals did 2 weeks ago. Every play was like direct snap Joe Burrow, quick throw, quick throw, quick throw. Design pass to get the ball out of his hands where he didn't have to sit there behind the Bengals' bad offensive line. Nobody has apparently told Todd Downing the offensive line is terrible and he needs to figure out ways to get the ball out of Tannehill's hands faster. I've weirdly, after this game, switched back to being like, J-Rob got victimized by Todd Downing somehow. It's unbelievable, like how inefficient and how terrible the offense is. And this stupid play he called, and he calls his biggest flaw is not his biggest flaw. He's got these flaws across the board, but anytime he tries to get creative, he just gunks things up worse. Everybody in my row, everybody in my section on the weird, like, was it supposed to be a direct snap to Derrick Henry, but it was like a sweep, so he was like supposed to come across and like intercept the snap from Tannehill on that one fumble play. Like, everybody around me was like, what was that play supposed to be? There's just like, if nobody can figure out what a play was supposed to be, what was supposed to happen, you drew it up wrong. And we've had multiple of those this season, like the sweep to Chig, the multiple bad sweep, weird plays we've put Malik Willis in for. It's just, Todd Downing's a war criminal at this point in time, because as bad as the talent we have is, I can't imagine, that there's not an offensive coordinator out there who could at least get 20 points out of this team. I mean, you've got, we keep forgetting, we've got Derrick Henry. And granted, teams are going to stack the box against us because our offense is so uncreative that we can't figure out a way to. Look at it last year. We had A.J. Brown. We're talking all about like, the A.J. Brown thing. That's what took that's what took John Robinson down. Todd Downing had A.J. Brown last year, and the offense was still just as predictable, just as uncreative as it is this year. So it doesn't matter. Put whatever GM you want in place. Give him Randy Moss. Give him Gronk. Give him Derrick Henry. Give him Edelman, I can't even think of players. Get whoever you want. Todd Downing is a terrible offensive coordinator. And as long as he's there, we're peaking. So, I mean, like, it's a lot easier to fire John Robinson at the point in time that we fired him than it is to fire an offensive coordinator in the middle of the season and kind of try to change the entire structure of your offense that you've put in place over the course of the offseason and into the preseason. So, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, it's going to be very interesting because Mike Mularkey got fired by Amy Adams Strunk because he was unwilling to change his coaching staff. So if Todd Downing survives this season, it tells you one of two things. Well, it'll tell you one thing, that just Amy Adams Strunk believes in Mike Vrabel unconditionally. Or that she's going to put the blame on John Robinson and give Todd Downing another season to prove that he was at fault. But I mean, I'm infuriated by Todd Downing, like more so than ever after this game. And it's like, I don't know. Venting, rant. This was stupid. I hate to have ranted here. I didn't mean to do this. I thought it was going to be like a 2-minute, just like, that game sucked. This is why it sucked thing. And then just like I started thinking about Todd Downing and it drove me into rage. This is what Todd Downing does to Titans fans. Like I said before the game, the division title that we all thought was locked up, everybody's like, we're going to coast to the AFC South title. We're going to be division champions. You know, we'll go to the playoffs and whatever happens, happens. Look what we got left. We got the Chargers, who we always lose to. We got the Cowboys, who look like have come out on fire all of a sudden since Dak Prescott's been back. We got the Jaguars, who just beat us. And the Texans, who suck. But were playing Dallas decently today. We might lose out. I would not be surprised if we lose out at this point in time. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to do something. Like, you know, I don't know if they thought, like, firing John Robinson was going to spark the team. I don't know if they thought, like, oh, let's all, like, not do individual player introductions pregame. Let's run out as a team. Somebody's got to do some real stuff to change what they're doing. Like, it's a little inspirational. Let's get everybody fired up. The stuff's not going to work. Somebody has to do a fundamental change to the way we're treating games, the way we're approaching games, the way we're coaching games. The personnel is not good enough, obviously. So it's a big test of the coaches. What can the coaches do? We already know Todd Downing's a failure. He's not going to do anything. I'm just ready to wash this season away, just say, you know, whatever. Once again, Mike Vrabel got the best out of not much. But if we're hoping Todd Downing's going to somehow save us, this rant's gotten out of control. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Season sucks. I would literally, if there was a way to bet the Titans are going to go 0-4, 0-5, whatever's left in the season, I would not be shocked at all if they lost every game running forward. Because, like, I don't see how, with the players they have, with the coaching they have, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, how do you win games? You can't score more than 20 points a game. How do you win? Like, we went in this game, everybody's like, oh, you know, bounce back. Titans are going to bounce back. Titans are like, how? They can't score more than 20 points a game. The only hope we had today was that the Jaguars were going to be terrible, and they weren't. So we just got to hope the Chargers suck next week, and then we got to hope that the Cowboys just have an off week when we play them. We got to hope that the Texans are still the Texans by the time we play them, and we got to hope that the Jacksonville, that last game of the season, maybe they don't have anything to play for, and they're eliminated, and they're bad. It's rough. It's rough. Weirdly, somehow, apparently, we only need to win one game and have the Colts lose one game to clinch the division. I don't know if that's accurate. Like, that's what I've heard on the radio. That's what I've heard in other reports. But I don't know that we can win one more game. I don't see how we win one more game with the schedule we have left and the ineptitude, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, that we have. God, terrible rant. I'm sorry this went so long. Apologies. I'm upset. It sucked. Glad I have a YouTube channel where I can vent. If you want to hear me vent more and complain more about how bad my teams are, and then occasionally see me do fun things that are more entertaining and more pleasant, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on for notifications, Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, I don't know how you did it. Kudos to you. Thank you. Tighten up. Let's just end this season already. I really hope this doesn't mean that the bomber jacket is cursed. Because, I mean, this thing is fire. Look at this beautiful inseam. Member exclusive limited edition. You are the 22nd element. We are grateful to have you as part of the Tennessee Titans family. Man. I hope this thing's not cursed. I'm going to end today's vlog with a piece of advice for everybody. If your sports teams are terrible, make sure you've got a wife that will make you fresh hot chocolate. Ooh, and I spilled it everywhere. And make sure she'll make it, and then you can watch Christmas movies together. Cheers.